Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is White Rice Wednesday, which means time for my Survivor recap. So to recap on tonight's episode, I thought it was going to start off with the tribe swap because it said for the previous from last week, this week would be a tribe swap. It does, but before the tribe swap can even happen, B says how she injured herself the last game, and because she's an athlete, she said she's going to quit the game. I kind of thought B would be in trouble if she was in the tribe spot because I thought with her injury she'd be a liability. But she mentioned how she tore her ACL before. So if she knew she had that kind of injury and she knew if she was going to be on this physically enduring game like Survivor with the potential of re-injuring her ACL, why in the world would she try out for Survivor? And let alone quit. It's just there's so many other people who would have loved to take her position. So, anyway, so the tribe swap happens and Carl does not get a buff. Carl will go to Exile Island, and this is what I thought would happen. I thought originally B would be in Carl's place, and I thought Carl would take B's spot if her tribe loses. But anyway, there's now 3 tribes. So, the new tribe is green. I didn't get the tribe name, so I'm just going off of color. The green tribe is Christian, John, Gabby, Dan, and who is it here? Allison. And the orange tribe is Elizabeth, Kara, Natalia, Alec, and Davy. And purple is Nick, Natalie, Lursa, Nick, and Angelina. So, yeah. I was wondering if Carl's Exile Island would be like Debbie's Exile Island in Game Changers, how she was on exile, but she was on a boat, and she got to meet Cochran, so I thought could Boston Rob could be popping out of nowhere, but, sure enough, Carl was on an exile island, and right away he finds an advantage in the game, and I'm thinking, oh my god, could this be the idol nullifier that was mentioned before this game even started? And sure enough, Carl does find the idol nullifier, and what that means is that whenever he wants to play it, he has to play it at Tribal in secret for whoever he thinks has an idol. If that person, let's just say Dan, for example, because Dan has an idol. If Carl believes that Dan's going to play an idol, he plays the idol nullifier. If Dan plays his idol, the idol nullifier will basically block it. So usually when you play an idol, any votes cast against Dan would count. But if the idol nullifier, if you play an idol, the votes against Dan wouldn't count. Both the idol nullifier, they would count. So, yeah, I bet you whenever Carl decides to use that, that's going to be one epic tribal council. So, on the orange tribe, Davy mentions how it's messed up that basically Goliath has the majority in each of the tribes. So, Davids are pretty much screwed unless they could come up with some way to find a crack and get a Goliath out. And Elizabeth and Kara are bonding over horses and everything. And Natalia's feeling a bit paranoid. She thinks that Kara's getting too close to Elizabeth. It's like, what, can't she talk to other people? Is she really that jealous and that paranoid that her friend can't talk to somebody else? On the purple tribe, Natalie isn't having it. She sees that Goliath has the numbers and she just wants a David gone. She doesn't want this whole get to know you thing. She just is basically doing what she's been doing the past couple episodes, directing people. And Nick, let me see here. Nick then does find a crack in the game that everyone doesn't seem to like Natalie that much. So Nick finds an alliance in Mike, and they call themselves a Rockstar Alliance. And Mike then decides to tell Nick that Dan has the idol. So, yeah, Dan's gonna go down at some point, but maybe I don't know if fire might be used against him. On the Green Tribe, Christian tries to get to know the mayor of Slamtown and tries to bond with his new tribe mates. And Dan likes that Christian was trying to help out in camp. He wasn't just sitting around doing anything. He couldn't chop bamboo like Johnny Mundo, but Dan stepped in and took over for Christian, and Dan appreciated the fact that Christian could take criticism and also, tried. He wanted to help around camp. So it seems like John and Christian are getting along. And then Gabby has a moment where she doesn't think the tribe likes her, that she feels like if they lose the next challenge, she could be on the chopping block. So Christian is there to comfort her, and I really do think they have a great friendship this season / alliance. They seem to work really well together. And I totally get where Gabby's coming from. She mentioned how she has a hard time opening up to people. She feels like the girl in school asking at lunch if she could sit at their table. And speaking from someone who's had to deal with bullies in high school, I have a hard time opening up to people. And whenever I would ask someone to sit with them at lunch, they refused to let me sit with them. So I had to spend most of my lunch in high school in the bathroom. So I definitely get how Gabby feels. So the immunity challenge is one of my favorites. Basically, there was one caller, and 2 people were blindfolded while getting the caller through this obstacle course. She was on this kind of almost open wheelbarrow type thing. And then once they got to a certain point, 2 more people would, the caller would help 2 more people get this ball through maze. And the reward is coffee and pastries, and it looked delicious. And I bet you that's looking pretty good to these people right now. And it looked almost to me like a blowout. The Green Tribe was doing terrific. Gabby was doing a great job being the caller. And Purple was behind the whole time. Angelina was the caller for them, and it just seemed like they kept getting stuck everywhere. So it really looked like it was going to come down between the Green and Orange Tribe. And the Green Tribe didn't win reward and immunity. But then it was neck and neck between Purple, because Purple did catch up to Orange. And Angelina and Kara were both directing their tribes. And it looked like it was going to be a showdown, but Orange dropped their ball. And that led, they were both in the final stage at one point, but it ended up being the Purple team that got sent to Tribal. So Orange team came in second. And it was a winner-take-all challenge, so they didn't get a brownie or part of a reward. They just got a second immunity. So on the Orange Tribe, they think it'll be easy to get rid of Elizabeth because Goliath does have the majority, so all they really have to do is pick between Davy or Elizabeth. And Davy and Elizabeth go out, try to look for an idol, but it's actually funny because Elizabeth doesn't know Davy has the idol. And even though Elizabeth knows her name's on the chopping block, she's not going to give up without a fight. And honestly, I wouldn't give up either. I'd be trying to do everything I can to make sure I would stay in the game. And Davy then reveals the plan B is to vote out Natalia. And then Talia is going all ballistic and everything. And Elizabeth then wants to align with Alec and says that she wants Natalia gone. And Alex doesn't know what to do because he's starting to see that Natalia is bossy and kind of bullying people around camp. But if he votes off of Goliath, that will look bad for him in the long run. But at the same time, he can't stand working with her. She's annoying and she's very, very bossy. And it's very interesting because the same thing is said about Natalie. So, yeah. So at Tribal, Elizabeth makes a case saying that she's loyal and once she's with somebody, she's with them till the end. And Davy then makes the case that Elizabeth's had to work hard all her life and she has 3 kids and that if she makes it to the end, she has a good chance of winning because she has a good story. Natalia mentions how she's excited to go to tribal and learn from mistakes and everything. And Alec then gets up to talk to Elizabeth, and Natalia is just like, what is going on? Like, she kept asking, like, Alec, why did you do that? Why did you do that? I want to know why you did that. And then she started to feel uneasy. And Natalia that is getting paranoid, and ended up being Natalia that got sent home. And I'm happy she got sent home. I did not like her from day one. She seemed like her whole game, it's like Chris Noble from last season. His whole game was based around getting rid of Dominic. Natalia's game seemed based around getting rid of Natalie. She seemed very bossy around camp, and I think her paranoia got the better of her, and she just seemed like really whiny and really snotty. Like, she says, like, don't be sorry, shut up. Like, I knew I couldn't trust you. And then when Alec's smiling when her torch is about to get snuffed, she's like, why are you smiling? I can't even take it right now. I'm like, well, you just have to deal with it because you just got voted off. And, I really think she got what she deserved. I mean, like, she's just, again, acting like a baby, like how she has been the whole time. Like, I get it. It sucks to be voted off, but yeah, I'm glad to see her gone. And I'm sure next week Natalie will be happy to know that Natalia's gone. So, next week's, now before I go on, Carl did take Natalia's place, and now he's on the Orange Tribe. So, the previews for next week show that people are getting sick of Natalie, and Kara is in disbelief that Alec went against her. But I don't know why, because Kara at one point knew that Natalia was paranoid, and she even it seemed like she was considering voting her off while they're at camp. So, yeah, I hope she's not going to be another one that was like, oh, Alec voted her off. Oh my God, we have to get him off now. He's just ridiculous. And then Natalia's like saying, I knew I couldn't trust you. I'm like, you trusted him up until this point. So, whatever. She's gone, so I hope you guys enjoyed Survivor tonight. If you want to check out Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Until next time, stay regal.